Hi, so welcome back to Fly Higher After 30. I have not posted a video for probably over a month. I think that's how long it's been, and I am really, really sorry. So turns out it's not always school that's hard, it's the rest of your life that's hard, that you're trying to figure out. And the last month has been pretty challenging. I came back from Montana. My son got married in October. This month, just a couple weeks ago, and my apartment, you can kind of see there's nothing behind me. My apartment's completely packed up because I move in 4 days. So moving right now, the plan is still that my son and daughter-in-law are hanging on to all my stuff in storage, and they're still going to keep the dog for me, and I will leave the first week of November and go to Phoenix for at least 6 or 7 weeks and stay with my very good friend out there in Phoenix, or in Scottsdale. And I have some other friends out there too, with some women I haven't seen in quite a while. So I'm hoping that while I'm there hanging out and doing school and looking for work, that I can visit with them and see what they're up to. So first things first, let's talk really what this is about and what this is about is school. And right now, still in fall semester, finally got my English class finished, and I did get an A. You might have heard in some prior videos, my instructor was not grading anything, and that is exactly what she did. She graded a few assignments, but as of the last day of class, she had not graded any of our essays. So it was really, really, really hard to continue to do essay after essay when you have no gauge at all what your grade is going to be, where you need improvement. Yes, I got an A, and and obviously I shouldn't complain about that, but from an instructional standpoint, I didn't really learn anything because I wasn't getting any feedback throughout the process. So really grateful that class is over, very grateful for the A, because as you know, that helps with our GPA, and that matters a lot. I am still in my anthropology class, physical anthropology, struggling a little bit more than I was before. The class is interesting, but because she's an adjunct professor and she can do whatever curriculum she wants and we have no set book, it's a little hard and a little more intense maybe than some of the other classes because you really have to block time for it. Also, now that English is finished, I've started my second half of government, which is, in my case, Texas government, because my college is in Texas. So I have a B in that right now. I'm only a week into it. And I freely admit I jumped right into it without really getting in-depth studying. So that B is without a lot of effort. So I'm hoping that I can pull an A out of that class between now and the end of the semester. So physical anthropology doesn't end until end of semester, which is December 15th, and the government class doesn't end until December 15th. So, I've got a solid 2 months, almost 8 weeks to get those two classes where I need them to be. I was taking a Spanish class, but with everything that was going on in October, that really wasn't working. So I actually dropped it before I started it, although I'm still sort of been studying Spanish because once you start, it kind of sticks with you. But I had a suggestion from a family member tell me why didn't I take speech, because that's what I did in high school and I was really good at it. So I've actually added a speech class. It starts in November. It's a fast path. Starts right before Thanksgiving, and it'll end also in December. So it's like a 5-week class. It's going to be very quick, very intensive. I do have to do speeches, I think 2 or 3 of them in front of an audience. So I'm kind of hoping my girlfriends in Phoenix will come over for wine night and I can do my speech in front of them and record it. But then that would get me done with everything but my math class, which, as you know from my prior videos, I'm kind of stuck with my math class rolling into January, and that's fine because I don't have any money to go to school in January at a full university, at a 4-year university yet. So I can roll into January semester. I can finish my math class for my associates and maybe even pick up an online class at a university or take another second-year class at the college that will transfer towards something I might need at university. So kind of need to just work that part out as far as school goes. But worst case scenario, we're still looking at, January, February for me to have my associates, which is pretty much on track to where I was going to be. Slim chance that I could get it done by the end of this year. And that just really depends on once I get to Phoenix. If I'm still, if nothing's popping on the working side and I'm not getting a job or doing any work, then I'm going to try to slam in that math class and get it all done by year end. But I really like to be doing something part-time maybe, or maybe not. I think once I'm out of this apartment and everything is kind of status quo and I'm truly broke and all the money's gone, which it almost is, that will really help me sort of identify, kind of get, I don't know. I just feel like my head's been all over the place, and I'm hoping that once this little chapter is done, I can move to the next chapter, which was I knew I would have to go live with friends and family while I finish school. And until you're doing that, it's hard to focus on that because you don't know what that's going to look like. You don't know what it's going to feel like, what it's going to look like, how it's going to work out, where the money's going to come from. It's for someone that's been in control and independent most of her life, this is probably the hardest time of my life. I feel very homeless. I feel very high-low. Sometimes I feel super depressed. Sometimes I don't. And I just think that it's just the process that you go through when you're doing this by yourself. So I share that because it's super scary. I'm probably more scared of this than anything else I've been in my life. And I think the reason is as we get older, we're more aware of how scared we are of something. When you're in your 20s and you're broke and you're a parent or you're a single person or whatever, you just do it. You get up every day, you do what you need to do, and you don't always really dwell on the whys or the hows or how I feel about it. You don't have time to feel about it. You just get up and do it. For me, and maybe for some of you, when we get, over 30, over 40, and maybe even now at my age, just over 50, there's a point where you have been independent, you've had a career for a while, maybe you've raised your family already, and now you're looking at it and you are overanalyzing it, and you are feeling out of control, and you are feeling like you're giving up so much. And that can be really, really scary. That actually is more scary because you're more aware. You're aware of where you've been and what you had and where you're going and not going. I think for me, I kind of had to chuckle today. I applied for a job a week ago that is exactly what I did at my last job. Exactly. Because I wanted to see. It's in Phoenix. I'm going to be in Phoenix. I could do that job. I've got a place to live. And, sometimes the panic sets in and I apply for something that would take me steps back. And they already rejected me. A job I've already done for 8 years, I can't get employed at. And so my initial reaction was, what? Are you kidding me? And then I remember that maybe part of that reason is that isn't what I'm supposed to be doing because it isn't what I wanted to do. That I started my path to go back to school because I wanted to do something different to begin with. So I just try really, really hard when I see that, it doesn't prevent me necessarily from applying because I think that's healthy. It keeps me in touch with the job market. It keeps my skills sharp. It keeps me reworking my resume. And if something pops on that, then great. Then I'm going to figure out how to make school work still if I want that job or if it works out. But the ultimate goal here really wasn't to take steps back to where I'd been in my career, maybe even in banking. I really wanted something different, and that was partly why I wanted to go back to school. So there you have it. This is super, super scary. And I feel very alone most of the time and very by myself most of the time. And I'm only sharing that because I don't want you to feel alone and in despair and feel like you're the only one going through this process that's felt that way. Because I know if I feel that way, then somebody else out there is feeling that way. And there's probably way more of us that just aren't vlogging about it. Or I just don't want anybody to have despair about it because it can happen really, really quickly. So As far as where I'm going to go to school next year, I have no idea. As far as how I'm going to survive financially, I have no idea. The things that I know, I still have a 3.7 in school. I'm good at school. My dog has a safe place to live while I'm gone with my son and daughter-in-law. My stuff will be safe. I'll have a roof over my head. I know I can get into colleges. I just haven't figured out how to pay for them yet, or have the money to pay for them yet. And when I'm not being worried, one of the best things about my life is that there appear to be a lot of people in my life, maybe some I didn't even know until recently, that do follow these, do watch them, do watch the Facebook page, that I have to continue to move forward on this and do the website too, and get that launched in January or as close to that as I can. So hopefully over the next few weeks, these videos will not feel so heavy. And, you know, I don't know. I want to say get better, but I don't know that anything is bad enough for me to say to get better. Sometimes we're just scared to death, and the crazy in our head is so loud that we feel so alone, and that's what's scary. So if you're feeling that way, please message me or make a post or do a video and tell the rest of the world how you feel, and know that you are not alone. Going back to school, over 30, over 40, over 50, over 60, scary, 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 and worth it every day. In the big picture, it's worth it. When I'm not worried about the external pieces of my life, then it's exciting and school is fun. So hang in there. Sorry the video's a little long. I will try really hard not to be so long in getting these posted and get back on track, because I think they're important. They're important for my own personal self, and I think that they'll be important for you too. So have a wonderful, wonderful Thursday, and we'll talk to you soon. And I'm here for you. I'm totally here for you. Have a great day. Bye.